Creating life from death isn't progress, it's opening Pandora's box. A classified genetic research facility, 2024, where scientists are attempting what was once considered impossible. This is the cutting edge of de-extinction technology, better known as the attempt to resurrect species that vanished millions of years ago, using preserved DNA fragments extracted from fossils, amber, and permafrost. And while researchers publicly claim they're targeting passenger pigeons and woolly mammoths for conservation purposes, classified documents reveal far more ambitious projects involving apex predators that once dominated Earth through overwhelming physical power rather than intelligence. And what these scientists either don't understand or choose to ignore is that bringing back even a fraction of these prehistoric creatures would trigger ecological collapse on a scale that could push human civilization to the brink of extinction. In this video, we're going inside the paleobiological research and ecosystem modeling that reveals why resurrecting Earth's ancient rulers represents the single most dangerous application of genetic technology humanity has ever attempted. Across 4.5 billion years of planetary history, Earth has witnessed countless dominant species rise, flourish, and ultimately vanish during mass extinction events that reset the evolutionary playing field. And what many people fail to grasp is that these extinctions weren't random catastrophes, but rather necessary corrections that prevented certain lineages from becoming so dominant that they would permanently stifle biodiversity. And the creatures that ruled during periods like the Carboniferous, the Permian, and the Cretaceous weren't merely large animals, but rather biological optimization machines that had evolved over millions of years to be perfect killing systems, with no natural predators capable of controlling their populations. During the Carboniferous period, approximately 300 million years ago, atmospheric oxygen concentrations reached 35%, nearly 2/3 higher than modern levels. And this oxygen-rich environment allowed arthropods, creatures with exoskeletons and primitive respiratory systems, to grow to sizes that would be physically impossible in today's atmosphere. And among these giants was Arthropleura, a millipede-like organism reaching lengths of 8.5 feet and weights exceeding 110 pounds, with armored exoskeletons as hard as iron and hundreds of legs capable of carrying it across any terrain, including vertical surfaces. If Arthropleura were resurrected in the modern world, its sheer size and armored construction would make it virtually indestructible to conventional pest control methods. And unlike modern millipedes, which are harmless detritivores, a creature of this scale could accidentally crush humans, penetrate buildings through ventilation systems, and reproduce rapidly enough that within a single generation, thousands of these armored nightmares could be crawling through urban infrastructure with no natural predators capable of controlling their population. Approximately 60 million years ago, during the Paleocene epoch, when global temperatures averaged 90 degrees Fahrenheit and tropical swamps covered vast regions of South America, evolution produced Titanoboa cerejunensis, a constrictor snake measuring over 49 feet in length and weighing 2,200 pounds, 10 times the mass of modern anacondas. And this creature was the undisputed apex predator of its era, capable of consuming any prey, including crocodiles measuring over 15 feet in length, by simply coiling around them and applying crushing pressure that exceeded 400 pounds per square inch. The constriction force generated by Titanoboa was comparable to industrial hydraulic presses, strong enough to collapse the ribcage of any mammal and shatter vertebrae of creatures larger than themselves. And unlike modern constrictors, which must wait hours between meals while digesting, Titanoboa's metabolism, optimized for high-temperature environments, allowed it to hunt and feed continuously, making it a biological eating machine that never stopped consuming. Meanwhile, in Ice Age Australia, a completely different predatory lineage produced Thylacoleo carnifex, the marsupial lion, which, despite its misleading name, was neither a lion nor particularly gentle, but rather a 350-pound ambush predator with bite force exceeding 7,000 psi when adjusted for body size, stronger proportionally than any modern big cat, and equipped with massive thumb claws capable of eviscerating prey with single slashing motions. What made Thylacoleo particularly terrifying was its versatility, because unlike specialized predators that hunt only in specific environments, Thylacoleo could climb vertical rock faces, hang from tree branches, sprint across open ground, and even swim, making it the ultimate generalist predator capable of hunting in any terrain. And Aboriginal Australian legends describing nocturnal attacks by pouch demons that killed without warning may actually represent cultural memories of encounters with this creature, which survived until approximately 5,000 years ago, overlapping significantly with early human settlement of the continent. While terrestrial ecosystems produced nightmares like Titanoboa and Thylacoleo, freshwater environments gave rise to even more terrifying apex predators, including Deinosuchus, the terrible crocodile that measured 39 feet in length and weighed 16,000 pounds, 3 times larger than modern saltwater crocodiles, and equipped with bite force exceeding 18,000 newtons, strong enough to crush the vertebrae of fully grown hadrosaur dinosaurs. Fossil evidence reveals that Deinosuchus actively hunted dinosaurs rather than merely scavenging, with numerous specimens showing characteristic puncture patterns from its teeth in locations indicating the crocodilian had ambushed prey while they drank from rivers. And if such a creature existed in modern waterways, every lake, river, and coastal zone would become forbidden territory. Because unlike modern crocodiles, which can be deterred through habitat modification, Deinosuchus was large enough that no barrier humans could reasonably construct would prevent it from accessing prey. Australia's contribution to aquatic nightmares was Megalania, a monitor lizard reaching up to 23 feet in length and weighing over 1,300 pounds, equipped not only with size and power, but also with venom glands that secreted anticoagulant compounds, preventing blood from clotting, meaning that a single bite would cause prey to bleed continuously until circulatory shock induced death. And unlike Komodo dragons, which must wait hours for venom to take effect, Megalania's massive jaws could deliver lethal trauma immediately, while venom ensured that even prey that escaped would die within minutes. But perhaps the most alien predator ever to exist was Helicoprion, the spiral saw shark, which possessed a bizarre lower jaw structure where hundreds of teeth arranged in a spiral formation rotated like a circular saw, capable of shredding prey into fragments within seconds. And while modern sharks are dangerous, they can be deterred or avoided through established safety protocols. But Helicoprion's feeding mechanism was so devastating that any encounter with humans would be instantly fatal, with no possibility of defense or escape. What makes prehistoric resurrections so catastrophically dangerous isn't merely that individual creatures are deadly, but rather that these organisms evolved within ecosystems that no longer exist. And ecological modeling conducted by conservation biologists reveals that introducing even a single apex predator from a prehistoric era into modern environments would trigger cascading extinctions, as contemporary species lack evolutionary adaptations to recognize and avoid these novel threats. Consider that modern prey animals have evolved defensive behaviors specifically tailored to contemporary predators, meaning that deer, cattle, and even humans possess instinctive responses to wolves, big cats, and bears. But we have no evolved responses to creatures like Thylacoleo or Andrewsarchus, because no mammalian lineage has encountered such predators for millions of years. And this would result in what ecologists call naive prey syndrome, where entire populations could be decimated before any defensive behaviors emerged. Furthermore, many prehistoric predators possessed reproductive strategies optimized for high-resource environments that no longer exist. And if resurrected in modern ecosystems rich with naive prey and lacking natural controls, these creatures could reproduce explosively, And mathematical models show that a single breeding pair of Titanoboa released into tropical wetlands could produce a population exceeding 10,000 individuals within 50 years, transforming entire river systems into predator-dominated zones where humans' habitation becomes impossible. And so we come to understand that extinction isn't merely an unfortunate end for species that couldn't adapt, but rather a necessary mechanism that prevents biological arms races from escalating beyond the point where ecosystems can maintain stability. And the creatures we've discussed, from Arthropleura to Helicoprion, represent evolutionary endpoints that were so optimized for predation that their very existence destabilized their environments, and their extinction created opportunities for new lineages, including eventually our own species, to emerge and thrive. And while genetic technology now provides us the theoretical capability to reverse these extinctions, doing so would represent the most profound act of ecological vandalism in human history, transforming Earth from a planet we dominate into one where we're forced back into the role evolution initially assigned us, which is prey. But what if resurrection isn't even necessary? Because deep in Earth's most isolated ecosystems, from Antarctic subglacial lakes to abyssal ocean trenches to unexplored cave systems kilometers beneath the surface, there may exist prehistoric lineages that never actually went extinct, but rather retreated into refugia where they've survived unchanged for millions of years. And occasional reports of massive unidentified creatures, from the bloop sound recorded in the Pacific Ocean to sonar returns showing objects larger than blue whales in areas where no such animals should exist, suggest that some of Earth's ancient rulers may have simply been waiting in the dark, proving that the most terrifying possibility isn't bringing back extinct monsters, but discovering that they never truly left. But while resurrecting natural prehistoric creatures would be catastrophic, humanity has already experimented with creating entirely new hybrid organisms that combine the deadliest traits of multiple species. If you want to see what happens when scientists deliberately engineer biological weapons from dinosaur DNA, check out our Jurassic Park Hybrid Dinosaurs video, where we explore all 9 hybrid species created across the franchise, and why mixing genetics from apex predators represents an even greater threat than simple resurrection. Click the link now to watch.